मंगल ईशा ओंकार तू गणेशा, हे मंगल ईशा ओंकार तू गणेशा. अर्पण तन मन जीवन तुझला मयुरेशा, हे मंगल ईशा ओंकार तू गणेशा, हे मंगल ईशा ओंकार तू गणेशा. अर्पण तन जीवन तुझला मयुरेशा, हे मंगल ईशा ओंकार तू गणेशा, हे मंगल ईशा ओंकार तू गणेशा. हृदयेचा तमौ जडित ये हासत ये नाचत, हृदयेचा तमौ जडित ये हासत ये नाचत. वरवे शुंभित श्रावण प्रथमेशा, श्रावण प्रथमेशा. हृदयेचा तमौ जडित ये हासत ये नाचत, हृदयेचा तमौ जडित ये हासत ये नाचत. धरतीवर ये शुंभित श्रावण प्रथमेशा, श्रावण प्रथमेशा. अर्पण तन मन जीवन तुझला मयुरेशा, हे मंगल हे मंगल ईशा ओंकार तू गणेशा. शब्दाचे दे अमृत, वेदाचे दे नवनीत शब्दाचे दे अमृत. रिम झिम अविरत हे पूर्ण परेशा, हे पूर्ण परेशा. वेदाचे दे नवनीत शब्दाचे दे अमृत, वेदाचे दे नवनीत शब्दाचे दे अमृत. रिम झिम अविरत हे पूर्ण परेशा, हे पूर्ण परेशा. अर्पण तन मन जीवन तुझला मयुरेशा, हे मंगल ईशा ओंकार तू गणेशा, हे मंगल ईशा ओंकार तू गणेशा. अर्पण तन मन जीवन तुझला मयुरेशा, हे मंगल ईशा ओंकार तू गणेशा, हे मंगल ईशा ओंकार तू गणेशा, हे मंगल ईशा ओंकार तू गणेशा. नाम घेता मुखी नाम घेता मुखी राघवाचे, दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे, नाचे दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे. नाम घेता मुखी राघवाचे, दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे, नाचे दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे. अंजनी उदरी बिंबला, दक्षिण्या रवी धावला. अंजनी उदरी बिंबला, दक्षिण्या रवी धावला. धावले वायू परियाचे, धावले वायू परियाचे. ओ दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे, नाचे दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे. रूपरी घेऊनी, तरू पाहे सिंगुलंगुनी. रूप में रूपरी घेऊनी, तरू पाहे सिंगुलंगुनी. करुनिया दहन लंकेचे, लंकेचे हो. करुनिया दहन लंकेचे, दहन लंकेचे. ओ दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे, नाचे दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे. जमुनी वानरे सारी, बांधिला सेतू सागरी. जमुनी वानरे सारी, बांधिला सेतू सागरी. बळ महान बाहुबलीचे हो, बळ महान बाहुबलीचे. हो दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे, नाचे दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे. विक्रमे राम जपतपी, रहला अमर तो कभी हो. विक्रमे राम जपतपी, रहला अमर तो कभी हो. गुणगाता हो, गुणगाता प्रभु सेवकाचे, गुणगाता प्रभु सेवकाचे. ओ दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे, नाचे दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे. नाम घेता मुखी राघवाचे, दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे, नाचे दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे, नाचे दास रामाचा हनुमंत नाचे.
Jai Shri Mataji, respected brothers and sisters from the global Sahaj family. Salam sejahtera dari Malaysia. Warm greetings from Malaysia. Before we proceed, let us all introspect for a moment and surrender all our ego, superego, our impure thoughts, let's be in silence for a short moment. Now, with our hands folded in the center of our hearts and with complete reverence, let's bow to our Divine Mother and pray. Param Puja Shri Mataji, we, your children, guidance and protection to have this global online meditation. It is only by your divine grace, Shri Mataji, that we are able to gather every week to worship your holy lotus feet collectively. We will always remain indebted to you for all your blessings, especially for giving us our self-realization and helping us sustain it thus far. We pray that you continue to bless all of us to grow deeper in our spirituality and to be your humble divine instrument that you want us to be. May Vishwa Nirmala Dharma spread to every nook and corner. And may peace, love, joy, tranquility, and spirituality prevail in this universe forever and ever, Shri Mataji. Shri Mataji, our only desire is to please you and to be always one with you at your holy lotus feet. Shri Mataji, our humble salutations to you at your holy lotus feet again and again from all your children. Today, brothers and sisters, we are blessed to have a very dynamic Yuva Shakti by the name of Meghna Gupta Arakera from Bengaluru. Born in Andhra Pradesh, she moved to USA with her parents when she was a little baby. And then in 2003, they moved to Bangalore, her father's native place. And since then, they've been in Bangalore. Meghna is a software engineer. Is currently working and also doing her master's via online classes. The family got their self-realization in 2003, but they only got involved in practicing diligently in 2009. And since then, there is no turning back for all of them, including her younger sister, Spandana. Meghna is a beautiful artist. She told me she always got poor results in art and therefore enrolled herself to art classes when she was 11 years or so, and slowly developed her talent with the Kundalini awakening. She has blossomed into a fantastic artist, and she's kept all of us proud, especially Shri Mataji, that she had gotten 2 gold medals last year from the Indian government. So without much ado, let's put our hands together and welcome our dear Yuva Shakti Meghna to lead our session, and later we have some video to share with all of you with all her paintings. Over to you, Meghna. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji to all my brothers and sisters. Thank you so much, Maheshwari Auntie, for that introduction. Let us just put our attention inside and let's start our meditation. Let us all bow down to the Mother and collectively raise our Kundalini and put ourselves into abundance. Oh Mother, Shri Mataji, please come into our hearts. Mother, let us feel your love in our hearts. Please cleanse our hearts so that you are there. And let us worship you in our hearts. Mother, please come and be seated on the throne of our hearts. Let us put our attention on the Muladhara chakra. Hey Ma, oh Mother, please awaken our Kundalini and cleanse all our chakras from the Muladhara to the Sahasrara. Oh Mother, raise our Kundalini and pass it and enrich our chakras. Let us bring our attention to the Swadhisthana chakra. As we all know, a few days ago was Vasant Panchami, and on that occasion, we pray in our Swadhisthana chakra for our creativity and satisfaction and joy to grow. We pray here, O Mother, you are who are Sri Saraswati. Please bless us with your divine knowledge. Mother, please enlighten our Swadhisthana chakra and open it up so that we can express ourselves. Mother, we want to be able to express our love to you. And for that, please open up our Swadhisthana chakra and please help us to express our love to you. Let us take the mantra of Sri Brahmadeva Saraswati. Om Swameva Sakshat Shri Brahmadeva Saraswati Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. O Mother, you are the pure knowledge and you are the pure attention. Please give us the pure knowledge and the pure attention. Please give us the pure knowledge to know that we are doing something divine and we have something divine. So let us understand the importance of our self-realization through your divine knowledge. Oh Mother, also please give us the pure attention, because only when we have the pure attention, Mother, we can understand your divine knowledge. Let us slowly move our attention to the Nabhi chakra. Hey Mother, oh Mother, please give us the complete satisfaction. Mother, we want to be able to show our love to you, but please give us the satisfaction of doing so as well. Mother, please make us content with what we have in this world. We have the ultimate thing, that is our self-realization. Please teach us how to manifest it within us and also to be satisfied with what it is and what we have. Let us slowly move our attention upwards into the Anahat chakra. Oh Mother, you are seated on our throne in our hearts. You are the one who gives us love. You are the one who teaches us love. So, Mother, please teach us how to give you love and how we can show our love to you. Mother, also make us fearless and proud to be able to show your love to the world. Mother, we want to spread your love to every nook and corner of this world. So please help us to do so. Please make us fearless. And please give us the strength to do so. Let us take the Shri Jagdamba Durga Mata Sakshat here. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Jagdamba Durga Mata Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha. Let us slowly move our attention to the Vishuddhi Chakra. O Mother, we have your love and we know your love, but we cannot convey your love without having a sweet voice. And without the help of Sri Krishna, we cannot portray or express your love to the whole world. So please give us the Madhurvani or the sweet voice by which we can tell every human being about your love and make them feel your love through our words. Let us slowly move our attention to the Agya Chakra. And now on to the Sahasrara. Let us just make one prayer while we are on our Sahasrara. O Mother, please keep us connected always to you. Help us to show our love to you and help us to spread your love to the whole world. That is all we desire for. Let us just be seated in silence for a minute. Let us now listen to Shri Mataji's speech in the state.
With love, all kinds of creative action takes place. You see how Raulbai has love for me. And in this place, you all also got new ideas of creating a beautiful thing. And as love will increase, your creativity will develop. So the basis of all creativity of Saraswati is love. If there is no love, there is no creativity. It's even in the deeper sense. If you see, people who have created all the scientific things are also out of love for the masses, not for themselves. Nobody has produced anything for themselves. If they make something for themselves, it has to become for universal use, otherwise it has no meaning. Even if you say atom bomb and all these things are created from science, they are also very protective. If they had not created those, people would not have taken out their minds from war. Now nobody can think of having a big war. Of course they are having cold wars, but that also will gradually stop when they will be fed up of it. So all the activity on the right hand side of Saraswati basically has to end up in love, starts with love and ends up in love. Whichever does not end up in love coils up and finishes up. It just disappears. So you can see that even matter which is not used for love just finishes. The basis has to be love. Otherwise, all such matter that we create, which has angularity, which is not fitting into the mass media, which is not appealing to the masses. Of course, it takes time. We have seen that it takes time. But it has that tendency always to disappear in the thin air as soon as you find it does not appeal to the masses. Now this love of that we talk of, this great love of God we talk of, we know that it for definite through vibrations. People do not have vibrations, but still we can feel the vibrations in a very unconscious way. All the great paintings of the world have vibrations. All the great creative works of the world have vibrations. Only those who have vibrations have been sustained by time. Otherwise all other things are destroyed. There must have been monuments and horrible statues and horrible things that have been created long time back, but were all destroyed by nature and they could not stand the impact of the Kala, that is the destructive power of time. So all that is sustaining, all that is nurturing, all that is ennobling comes from this sense of love which is within us, very much developed, but within others also who are not yet realized. Ultimately the whole world has to realize that one has to go to that ultimate love of God, otherwise it has no meaning. Now you have seen in art, people have taken to other methods of appealing to people by using cheap things and very vulgar things, just to make people think that this is art. But this will all disappear. It cannot sustain the impact of the time, as I told you. It cannot, because the time will kill it. All these things have to disappear. And already you can see the result, how things are changing everywhere, even in the West. So there is no need to be so much disappointed with the West and to say that the Western world is a wasteland. It is going to be all right, and it has to be done. Especially it has done a lot of puja of Saraswati, I should say, in the West. Much more that they have done in India, because they have gone to learning, they have tried to find out so many things. But only thing they forgot, that it is a goddess of learning. Everything comes from the goddess, that's what they've forgotten. And that's why all the problems have been created. If there is no spirit in your learning, if there is no source of the goddess in your learning, then it is absolutely useless. If they had realized that there is the spirit that is working it out, they would not have gone that far. And that's what I was warning the Indians all through, that you are now taking to industrial revolution in a way. And to avoid all the complications of industrial revolution, you must try to know the spirit. If you do not know the spirit, you will have the same problems as these people had, because they are also human beings, you are also human beings. You will go the same way, at random you will run, and there will be problems, the same problems as the Western people have suffered. Now, Saraswati's blessings are so many that one cannot describe in such a short time. And the Surya has given us so many powers that it is impossible to tell them even in one lecture, even in 10 lectures. But how we go against Surya and how we go against the Saraswati while doing the worship of Saraswati is to be seen very clearly within ourselves. For example, the Western people are very fond of Surya because they have no Surya with them. But they go too far with it, as you know, and create complications within themselves of Surya. But the main thing that one has to achieve through Surya is the light within. Is the light within. And if Surya Chakra at the Agya level is occupied by Lord Jesus Christ, then it is even more essential that the purity of life, what we call niti, is the morality of life. The morality itself has become very much sort of an argument in the West. People don't have any sense of absolute morality. On vibrations, of course, you know. But they have gone all against it. Those who are the worshippers of Jesus, those who are the worshippers of the Surya, of the Saraswati, have all gone against the powers of Surya, just disobeying it. Because you cannot be a Surya if you do not have a proper sense of morality and holiness. The Surya itself brings light. You see everything clearly. So many qualities Surya has got. It dries up everything that is wet, dirty, filthy. It dries up all these places which create parasites. But so many parasites are created in the West. Not only parasites, but there are horrible cuts and horrible things which have come into those countries, which is supposed to be full of light. And in that darkness, they exist. Darkness about their spirit, darkness about their own knowledge, and darkness about love. These three things have taken over in the places where you are supposed to love light. Light doesn't mean what you see with your gross eyes. Light means from within, the light of love. That one should understand. Light of love. And it's so soothing, it's so sweet, it's so beautiful, it's so enamoring, it's so abounding that unless and until you can feel that light within you, that light which is of pure love, of purity, pure relationships, pure understanding, if you can develop that kind of a light within yourself, then the whole thing will be cleansed. Wash me and I shall be whiter than snow. This is what happens to you when you are completely cleansed. The purest form of nature is within us. The purest form of nature is within us. Our chakras are made out of that purest form of nature. We are the only people who are spoiling it by our mental thinking. Again, the same Saraswati's work. We are going against Saraswati itself. Saraswati cleanses all that is impure in nature, while with our brain activity we are spoiling all that. All our brain activity goes against pure intelligence. And that's what one has to understand, that this pure intelligence is not to be soiled by our thinking. Our thinking can make us so bumptious, so ego-oriented, so impure, that we can really eat the poison and say, what's wrong? Just the opposite of Saraswati. If Saraswati is within us, she gives us subuddhi, wisdom. And that's why to worship Saraswati, to worship Surya, we must have that clear vision as to what we have to be, what we are doing, what filth we are living in, what our mind is getting into. After all, we are here for emancipation and not for just pampering our ego and living with our filth that is with us. So this light should come within us and we should try to rise above our own mental filth which is being created around us. Apart from that, you have to go higher and understand that there is within us a thing called ego. And this ego is false, absolute false. You do not do anything. Actually, when you turn your eyes here and there, when your attention is here and there, it's nothing but your ego is trying to overpower it. But actually, ego is an absolute falsehood, because there's only one ego, and that is of God Almighty, Mahat Ahankara. There is no really any ego that exists. It's a myth. It's a very big myth. Because if you start thinking, you are doing everything, you are doing this, you are doing that, which you are not doing, then this nonsensical ego comes in and you start working it out. It can project in every direction. When it projects forward, it overpowers others, it tries to dominate others, tries to kill others, becomes cruel. When it moves right side, it becomes supraconscious. It starts seeing things which are absurd, which are foolish, which are stupid. When it moves left side, then it starts seeing things, yourself as a big man, as a big Christ, or as a big Devi, or something. They are Adi Gurus and I am very great personality. That's left side. When it moves backwards, that's the dangerous one. When people become gurus, which are ruining other people. When the ego moves backwards, then they become gurus. They themselves have lots of defects in themselves, and they try to pull people into those horrible stuff which is described as absolute narka. That's how is the movement of ego on all the sides. Now, when people try to use their right vishuddhi, that is to talk about themselves, is the worst of all. Whatever type of ego you may have, if you start boasting about it and talking about it, that it encircles, thickens the walls of ego so much that it is impossible to penetrate into that, because that such a person is completely satisfied with himself and he believes that he is true. And once he starts believing into a nonsense like that, is an impossibility. It's an impossibility to penetrate. So when you boast about these things or you talk big, be careful. You see, you know what I am, but how many times do I say I am that? Even if I say once, it makes tremendous vibrations for you. But how many times do I say so? At the most, if you say something, I say, yes, but I don't say that. If I say it loudly, I don't know what may happen. The whole thing might be blasted with me. So one has to understand that Mahat Ahankara is the one that acts, that works, that really. Sometimes I shout at you, immediately all the bhoots run away. Just once I shout. Yesterday you saw all the bhoots that were coughing, they all ran. Yesterday just I stopped. So you should understand that now as you are realized souls, you can also do the soul. Use your right vishuddhi to shout at yourself. Now will you please stop boasting? Will you stop talking all this nonsense? Will you stop showing off? Then it will. Now this thickening takes place by people who really are active, who want to do something about it. Not that they are not active, they want to do it. But they know only one way is to act through talking. They don't understand that there are inner ways by which you control it much more. Because they don't want to take to that, they take to this talking. And once they take to talking and they talk about it, the whole power flows out. But if they do not talk about it and keep it within themselves, it's all right, you can tell me about your experiences or anything, but if you start telling others and talking about it too much, then the powers that you have got will be all disappearing gradually from you. And you will just come down to absolutely lowest level. So one should not too much talk that I have this power, or I see this, or I do this, which is a very wrong thing. I warn you, don't try to show off. You can talk about my powers, it's all right. But don't try to talk about your powers. When it comes, of course, to talk to somebody who is a negative person, or to tell somebody, then you should say that we, not I, we have, some of us have felt this power within us. We have seen people. It may be you only, but you need not say I have. What you have to say, we. Then you become the Mahatahankara. When you say we, yes, some of us, we do. Like in Gregor's book also, I saw to it that he should not have many I's, but he should have we. We think, we do, we. Means the whole collective being, the whole collective organism, living organism of Sahajis. So you should say, yes, some of us have got. That means you put yourself down, but put all others above you. Say, yes, some of us have, I know some people have this. That's the way one should do it. Because if you have to overpower your ego, you must allow it to spread into everybody else. That's how you will make it perfectly alright. Make it spread. We all Sahajis. We all. But that pride is not there. I've seen that pride is not there. Still it is very individualistic. If you start thinking we Sahajis, then what happens? That you become one person, one organization. But the person will look down upon other people. Will see that this person is low, that person is high, that person is dead. But he will not think, we the Sahajis, how beautiful we are. We, the body of Sahaja, how beautiful we are. So always think in the words of we. So your ego will become much less, much less, much less. And the same ego which looked so funny and absurd will form tomorrow, the Ekadashi. Today's individual ego will merge into Ekadashi. But we all must remember to say we all the time. This is what is today's day is great day for us to change, because the sun has changed its mood now. Sun is coming this side. So let us welcome the sun coming to the north now, this way. And for Australians to say that though the sun has gone, let us establish the sun, the domain of sun within ourselves. Because sun never disappears from our inside. So that is how we have to take a mood by which we should think of one personality, all of us together. All of us together. And anybody tries to be something separate or different, he'll drop it. I'll drop him. Whatever it will drop it. So you just don't worry. Anybody who tries to be singled out or anything, everybody must do whatever they like to nurture the whole, to help the whole, to emancipate the whole, but not to in any way put anyone down or less. Because this is not the way the Sahaja Yoga is. Sahaja Yoga only works in collectivity. And the one who has developed this permeating spirit is a real Sahaja. Who has not is not. Whatever you may think of yourself, I have nothing to say. But this permeating personality, which moves from places to places, whether you talk or not, like your mother is. Whether I meet you or not makes no difference, but I am permeating through all of you. By little things also, I am there with you. So like that, try to permeate into each other and see the beauty, and you will enjoy yourself the best, because that is the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing that is to be achieved. Because this ego, makes you like a nutshell, and you just cannot have a rapport with that beauty of permeation. And just see how the notes move into each other. will be a great idea today. It's a great thing. Today we are having puja dhulya. Like the dhulya means the dust. And one day I had written in childhood a poem, I remember. Very interesting poem it was. I don't know where it's lost, but we said that I want to be like a dust particle, which moves with the wind, which goes everywhere, can go sit on the head of a king, or can go and fall at the feet of someone. It can go and sit on a little flower, and it can go and sit everywhere. But I want to be a particle of dust that is fragrant, that is nourishing, that is enlightening. Like that. I had written a very beautiful poem. I must have been about 7 years of age, I remember, to be a dust particle. I remember that very clearly, long time back, that I should be a dust particle so that I'll permeate into people, which is a very big thing to become a dust particle of that kind. To that whatever you touch, you see, that becomes a level. Whatever you just feel, that has fragrance. It's such a great thing to be like that. And that was my desire, and it has been achieved. At that young age, I had this idea of becoming a dust particle, and today just while talking to you, I remembered that I wanted to be that, and that is what this place is. And Raoul is like that. She's a very simple woman, and she lives like a very simple person, but she has a sense of permeation. And now there are so many Sahajis yesterday who came. I'm sure they'll take it up Sahaja Yoga very well. There are lots of Sahajis from Dhulya now, and I'm sure there are going to be more people. I hope you have met all of them. Make friends with all of them. Try to know them, who they are. They may not know English, so get somebody to translate. Talk to them and be nice to them. Be friendly with them. I want you to meet them for permeation. You should know who are the people here, who are in Nasi, because somehow you never meet the Sahajis, you see, who are in that particular place. And when we go back, we have only 1 or 2 addresses. It's not a good idea. Try to see how many people there are, ask about their questions about them and all that. This permeation is only possible when your ego starts permeating all around. This is the way to overcome the problems of the right side, and that is how to worship Saraswati. Because Saraswati has a veena in her hand, and that veena is the primordial instrument which she plays, like music. And the music penetrates into the heart. You don't know how it goes into you and how it works out. And that's how a person who is a Sahaja should permeate like music into everything. She has so many qualities, as I told you, which cannot be described in one lecture. But one of the greatest quality of hers is that she ends up into subtler things. Like the Mother Earth will end up into fragrance. Music will enter into melodies. Like that, whatever she creates ends up into something later. Matter, whatever she produces, ends up into aesthetics. If matter does not have aesthetics, then it is gross. Like that, everything. Now, you will say, what is water? Water becomes the river Ganges. These are the subtler. So, the matter gets into subtler things because it has to permeate. It has to permeate. So, everything, whatever it is, and the best of all is the air. That air becomes the vibrations. So, you can see how whatever has come out from this matter, from these 5 elements, becomes that subtle thing. Of course, the left side and right side both work it out, because the love has to work on this, and when love acts on matter, it becomes that. And that is how one has to look at your own lives to make it a beautiful combination of love and matter. May God bless you. आता धुळ्याच्या सहयोगांसाठी असं सांगायचंय की आता
Let us all remain in meditation for a minute. Let's make a small prayer. O Mother, please let us imbibe whatever learnings you have given us today. So please help us to understand what you have told and imbibe those qualities within us. Let us be in meditation while we listen to the Saraswati Vandana.
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः माता सरस्वती शारदा हे माता सरस्वती शारदा हे माता सरस्वती शारदा माता शारदा हे माता सरस्वती शारदा विद्यादानी दयानी दुःखहरिणी जगतजननी ज्वालामुखी माता सरस्वती शारदा हे माता सरस्वती शारदा माता शारदा शारदा हे माता सरस्वती शारदा शारदा हे माता सरस्वती शारदा विद्यादानी दयानी दुःखहरिणी सरस्वती शारदा हे माता सरस्वती शारदा सरस्वती शारदा विद्यादानी दयानी दुःखहरिणी जगत जननी ज्वाला मुखी माता सरस्वती शारदा सुदृष्टि कीजे सुदृष्टि कीजे सुदृष्टि सेवक जान अपना इतना वरदान दीजे तान ताल और आलाप बुद्धि अलंकार शारदा हे माता सरस्वती शारदा हे माता सरस्वती शारदा हे माता सरस्वती शारदा कीजे सुदृष्टि सेवक जान अपना इतना वरदान दीजे तान ताल और आलाप बुद्धि अलंकार शारदा हे माता सरस्वती शारदा हे माता सरस्वती शारदा हे माता सरस्वती शारदा 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 तदानि दानि तोम तननन देरना तदानि दानि तोम तननन देरना तदानि दानि तोम तननन देरना तननन देरना उदानि दानि तदानि दानि तोम तननन देरना तदानि दानि तोम तननन देरना तननन देरना उदानि दानि तदानि दानि तोम तननन देरना तदानि दानि तोम तननन देरना तदानि दानि उदतन उदतन निततन निततन उदतन उदतन निततन नितत तदीं भीं तनन तदीं भीं तनन तदीं भीं तनन तन देरन तनन दर 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 तुम दर 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 दानि दात्र कदिना कडकदा दादा कडदा तकदिन क्रांत दा तदानि दानि तोम तननन देरना तदानि दानि तोम तननन देरना तदानि दानि तोम तननन देरना तननन देरना उदानि दानि तदानि दानि तोम तननन देरना तदानि दानि तोम तननन देरना तदानि दा उदतन उदतन निततन निततन तदीं भीं तनन तदीं भीं तनन तदीं भीं तनन तन देरन तनन दर 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 तुम दर 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 दानि दात कदीना कडकदा क्रांदा कडदा तकदिन क्रांत दा तदानि दानि तोम tom tana nana de rana tada ni dani tom tana nana de rana tada ni dani tom tada ni dani tom tada ni dani tom ta
All be in silent meditation for a while. Let us now bow down to Shri Mataji and all arise for Aarti.
सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा, तू गंगा यमुना माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको, माँ सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, लौट के ना जाना माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर लिया उजियाला, माँ कर लिया उजियाला। कलयुग में माया है, कलयुग में माया है, फिर भी पहचाना माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर दुख से दूर करना माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधुर संगीत सुन लो माँ, मधुर संगीत सुन लो। होए सके जो सेवा, होए सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा देना माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री नमो नमः त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी बोलो श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी की
Jai Shri Mataji, we thank you for today's meditation. Oh Mother, we thank you for teaching us how to give unconditional love. Oh Mother, please help us to spread your love to the whole wide world. Forgive us for all the mistakes committed during this meditation, knowingly or unknowingly. Thank you so much, Mother, for this global online meditation, for connecting all of us together here today. Jish Mataji, let us all collectively raise our Kundalini and put ourselves into a bandhan. Jai Shri Mataji. Over to you, Auntie Maheshwari.
Thank you, Meghna, for the lovely and blissful meditation. We would like to now play a short video of Meghna's paintings. So please enjoy. So lovely paintings, so intricate, done with so much of love. It's full of vibrations, your paintings. So Meghna, just tell us a little bit about your journey, especially with the self-realization, after getting your self-realization, how you have gotten into this art that you told me that you didn't score very well in the beginning, but over time you've proven yourself by the grace of Shri Mataji, everything has gone well for you.
Yeah, so basically, we got our self-realization in 2003, but then it took us 6 long years to just get regular and settle down in Sahaja Yoga. But after that, there's been no looking back, like it said, Auntie. So what for me, art was never in my thing. So when I was a kid, I started going for skating, I went for singing, I went for dancing, I even got trained in Carnatic classical. But it never captivated me. And like, every child in India has art as a subject. So basically, you have to paint, and you will be graded based on your paintings. So, and even if you fail in art, so you will have to, it would not be like good. So they would pass you anyway. They would promote you to the next class. But then you yourself would feel like, oh God, why did I have to fail in art? And that was my situation, because my other studies were quite normal and good comparatively, but my art, I always used to get grades like C, D, or even worse at times. So because of which my parents put me into art classes, obviously. So, but yeah, this all started in parallel with Sahaj. So you can say Sahaj, just as we say, that Sahaj gives you a new life. So for me, it gave birth to a new medium to express myself. So I learned. So even when I joined art classes, I was new to Sahaj. So I started meditating, but yeah, I was like a kid back then. So I never really felt anything. So I just used to accompany my mom to centers, and then I used to attend centers. But I used to enjoy the bhajans all the time. So it was probably after few years after we got our realization settled down, I went to my first self-realization program again. And that was when I actually felt the vibrations. And so how does this actually come in my art journey is that even when I took up art, so even when I took up classes, I was not that great. So I did not want to go to the classes. I just felt it was a waste of time. So, but my parents were used to push me, saying, "Okay, everyone is there. All the kids are going. You also go." So eventually, I went, and the teacher used to be like, "Okay, you're doing good." So as in comparison with the other kids there, so I was doing okay. So I was like, "Fine, I'm not that bad, so I can probably draw." So and I started going to classes, and that in parallel to that, so I started exploring myself as a in Sahaj. So I started meditating regularly, feeling vibrations. And then I think around when I was in class 7, so I went on my first, you could say, the seminars what we had. We used to have, like before COVID, we used to have offline seminars. So I went to my solo seminar. So I went with another Yogini Didi. So I went to Jaipur. So all the way from Bangalore, a class 7 or 6 student, I went all the way alone. So that experience was just mind blowing. So it was beautiful. So and that too there was marriages at that time. So the amount of vibration, so the feeling. So it was when I went to Jaipur. So these aunties, they were getting ready. They were making gifts for the couples. So then auntie is like, okay, you come sit here. I was like a kid, so the auntie was like, you come sit here and you start, you paint something, do something. So I just made a I painted a flower vase or some, I guess. Yeah, it was a flower vase. So I decorated it, and the auntie was like, "Oh my God, this is so pretty. We were all doing such simple ones. Here, the one you have done is so pretty." And I felt really nice because I was someone who never, who had such bad grades in art. When someone told me that, yes, your art is so nice. You have done it so beautifully. Then yeah, it did give me some sort of encouragement.
Some problem with your internet? Meghna, can you hear us?
Yes, Auntie, just
The line was bad earlier.
give me a minute. Yeah, so I had to shift my place because I switched on the video and the
Yeah, we couldn't hear most
voice
of it
started
from
breaking.
yeah. We couldn't hear from the time you said you were drawing the vase, you know. After that.
Oh,
we
yeah.
couldn't-
So basically, when I was in Jaipur, so so that auntie gave me this vase to draw, and she was like, when I finished it, so she was like, it's so beautiful. So for someone like me who has, for someone like me who has never been. So for someone like me who has always like found it difficult to say, like get an appreciation on art, or always consider the worst. So for me, so getting a compliment like that was so compliment.
The internet. Maybe we could. Maybe you can switch off your video and if you want to speak, because it's interrupting a few times. Meghna, I think we'll catch up with you some other time otherwise, because it's a bit disturbing about the sound, I think. Meghna, can you put off your video? Turn off your video. Anupam, can you do something about it? Anyway, thank you, Meghna. Thank you, Meghna. Can you hear me? Meghna, I think the internet connection at your end is a bit poor this time around. Maybe we'll catch up with you again. And before that, we'd like to thank you for leading our session today, and congratulations on your 2 gold medals.
Thank you so much, Auntie.
Yeah.
Yeah, apologies for that.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it is not our doing. It's it's. We'd also like to thank your mom. I have fond memories of staying with her and Spandana during 2018. Visited them, and also visited the electricity in Bangalore, the collective there, and I really enjoyed my stay in Bangalore as well as the collective there. Do convey our love to everyone there, and hopefully the internet connection gets better next time. You can share your story with us in more details, and please convey our love to Amma, Appa, and everybody else.
Sure, Auntie. Sure.
Thank you so much, and looking forward to everyone joining us again next week, Tuesday, same time. We have Uncle Nalgirkal who will be leading us next week. So please keep yourself available and join us to get more insight from our pioneer Sahaja Yogi brother. Jai Shri Mataji, and thank you everyone.
Jai Shri Mataji.